everyone, my name is Kat, or the Fairy Librarian, and welcome back to a new reading vlog. It is now Friday. It's that weird time where it's not yet the afternoon, but noon has already passed. It's like around that time. Like this awkward in-between space. Hi. I wanted to start the vlog one and just give some updates. So last night I read some more of Winter. I'm now at page 310, which is this far into it. And I'm really loving it. This book, from the moment it started, it started going and it never stopped. Because it's the conclusion of a series, there are quite a few things to wrap up. So it was very fast paced and it didn't really calm down. I've come to a point where we're just can breathe again for a few pages, which I really like. Just catching up with our characters. I love the interpersonal relationships in this one. Just the banter and the friendships and the relationships. It's really good. I love these characters. I'm really liking this, and I need to know what happens and how it ends. So yeah, I'm excited about continuing this one, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm also read some more in Pandora by Susan Stokes-Chapman. I'm now a little bit over halfway, and I've barely talked about that book, so I'll just do it now, catch up, because I feel like I've read more than half. I should give you like a decent update. So Pandora is a Greek myth retelling of the story of Pandora, set in the late 18th century. And it's about a girl called Pandora, or Dora, whose parents had an antiquity shop, but when her parents died, the shop got in the hands of Dora's uncle. And so also Dora, who was still pretty young at the time, her uncle was now taking care of her. But her uncle has no respect for the legacy of her parents, and the once very prestigious and highly enclaved antiquity shop is now just selling forgeries and worthless garbage. So she is quite sad because of that. She would love to see it back in its old glory. And that's when her uncle suddenly gets a mysterious shipment of some pottery. She doesn't really know what it is. He won't tell her what it is. He keeps it hidden and locked key. So she doesn't know what to do, but she thinks that this can maybe be of worth. And she doesn't really understand why he's hiding it. And there are 3 perspectives in this book. So first you have, of course, Dora, who wants to find out what this pottery is, but who also wants to get free from her uncle and make a living for herself as a designer of jewelry. But she's a woman in the 18th century, so she faces some obstacles because of that. Then there is the uncle who has traded with some questionable figures to obtain a very precious vase. But things, I don't want to say things go wrong, that's not the picture, but there is something about this phase that is a little bit off, and he wants, like, he dismisses it at first, but the people who he traded with, they are convinced, no, this thing is evil. They don't know what's wrong with it, but there is definitely something wrong with it. And then there's a third perspective called Edward, who is like, who likes antiques, is an amateur antique person, and he wants to become a member of a society of antiquarians. But in order to do that, he has to submit a paper, and then maybe will be admitted. And so he needs to find the perfect topic to write this paper on. And so a friend says, go look at this old place. It used to be really good. Maybe like the man who's running it now is kind of sketchy, but maybe the girl can help you. And so that's where we're at. I don't want to give away too much because it is very slow. And so it can't really say much without spoiling it. In the last vlog, I talked about this book a little bit, and I said that I still didn't have the feeling it really started. I'm starting to feel that now. Like, about the halfway point, the story did kind of start going, but it's still a long way into the book before that happens, so do with that what you will. But I am quite enjoying it. The writing is very beautiful in this. So I'm not blown away by it necessarily, but I'm enjoying it. So that was my update. I'm still reading Dreaming the Eagle, but I haven't read so much since the last time that I feel like I have anything more to say than that then. So I will see you again when I have more. Oh, wait! I just remembered I had something else to show you, because at my university there is this bookshelf in the hallway with free books, so you can just take one and that's it. And I picked up this book, which is Can Language Be Planned, edited by Joan Rubin and Bjorn H. Yernad. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's a collection of papers about language planning, which, according to the back, is the deliberate change and promotion of language structure and language use. So I don't know if this is interesting, but I would like to see. I love how floppy this book is. So yeah, I'm curious to read this book. I got this. So that's truly everything. So I will see you again later. Bye. Hi, it is now Monday evening, and I owe you a few updates. So, first and foremost, I finished Pandora by Susan Stokes-Chapman, and I have thoughts. So throughout the entire book, I was having like a fine time. Like I wasn't really attached to any of the characters. I wasn't super invested or anything, and my biggest problem with it is that it was way too long. Like this could have been a novella easily, or even a short story, and then it could be very interesting, but it was like 400 pages, and it didn't need to be nearly as long. But I can usually deal with books that are too long. There are some books that I really love that could be significantly shorter than they are. Like that'll never be the only reason for a negative review. So, you know what? I was sitting at somewhere around a 3, like maybe 2.5, maybe 3.5, depending on the ending. And then the ending happened. What was that? Oh my goodness, what was that? It was ridiculous. Deus Ex Machina, MacGuffin that relied on a huge plot hole as well. And it was just ridiculous. Like, I was calling a friend this morning and I was telling him what happened, and he was like, I want to know what drugs that the author is on because it feels like he gets some kick out of it. So it wasn't. I'm kind of mad at it right now. So, and I'm bummed because the writing style was really beautiful, and just the premise was so interesting and had so much potential. But the execution completely fell flat. There was also one other thing, like a little bit of a problematic element. I have just filmed an entire video dedicated to that. So I'm not going to go into it here. But that was in there as well. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1.5 star. Because there were some things that I thought were good, but so that's why it still gets the half star. But it wasn't. The ending made me so mad. So that was a bummer. But that meant that I had finished my ebook, and I always like to have an ebook going for when I'm on the go, and I don't want to have to carry around a 800-page fantasy. So I started a new one, and I started Unseelie by Ivelisse Housman. This is the first book in a YA duology, fantasy duology about fae. So it's about two twin sisters. One of them is a human, and one of them is a changeling. And from what I understand, she was the changeling that was put in place of the other one. So they're like, so basically, the mother went back to the Feyland to get her own child back, but she also kept the changeling. So that's how far I understand it. I could be wrong. Anyway, the story draws on some changeling mythology and folklore, because there are some ways in which historically people believed you could recognize a changeling, and looking at those indications with a modern eye, it sounds like autism. And a few other things as well, but in this particular book, autism. So the changeling sister is autistic. The author is autistic as well, so its own voices for that. And I'm autistic, and there have been definitely a few relatable moments already. And it's a fun story. There was like a heist element, but the heist went wrong, which is not a spoiler, that's the setup. And then they have to deal with the consequences of that heist that has gone wrong. Because they found something. They didn't find what they expected to, but they did find something. So it's a fun story. I like the autism representation in sci-fi fantasy. I've been looking for that for a very long time, so I'm thrilled about that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I also continued Winter by Marissa Meyer. I'm now halfway through. It is really a revolution story at this point. Like it has completely started. And it's fun. There has been some. Is it Maha? I don't know how to say it. But she really has a oh yeah moment. So I'm really enjoying this book. There is some dark stuff in here, definitely. But I'm really, really enjoying it. And then the last book that I have an update on, that was further rated, I thought, is Dreaming the Eagle by Amanda Scott. I finished part 1. I'm enjoying it. I'm not, like, it's not a new favorite at the point where I am right now, but I am enjoying it. The writing style has a lot of narration, and not a lot of dialogue, which makes it harder for me to connect to the characters, because I just connect a lot easier through dialogue than through narration. So that is mostly what's holding me back from fully loving this, but I am really enjoying what it is. I love the culture. I love it is historical fiction, but they like the people, they have mythology and gods and religion that they believe in, and so because of that, there are sometimes has a bit of a magical feel to it, and I like that. I like the dreams, um, and some of the rituals. So the culture is really what I'm loving the most in this at this point. But I'm having a good time. So that's the update. I will talk to you again when I have another update. Bye. Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, and I wanted to film a last clip to wrap up this reading vlog. I told you? I don't know if I told you about winter, or at least like the last bit about winter. I'm a bit over halfway. The revolution really has started now, and it's the tension is high and the stakes are high, and I'm really liking it. I wish we got a little bit more of Cress's POV, but I love Cress, so I think I will always want more Cress's POV, no matter how much there's in there, so take that with a grain of salt. But I'm loving it. There is one character, I forgot her name, so without spoiling it, she's the mother of someone, if you know, you know, and she has some, oh yeah, moments that I really liked. So I'm really liking it. I love the series. So I've been reading that. I don't know if I told you this already, so sorry if I'm repeating myself. Something I know I haven't told you. I am about halfway, part 2 of Dreaming the Eagle by Manda Scott. I had already told you that I was just struggling a little bit to get into this book in the first part. This part is definitely a lot more readable. I mean, I enjoyed the first part. I really liked it, but it was something I couldn't read a lot of it in one go. Like I had to take breaks really quickly, and now it just become a lot more readable and consumable. So that's good. I really like where this is going. I really like, wait, there was a, this said in the back how you need to pronounce names. Hang on. Like Bon or something. It's B-A-N and then there's like an accent on the A. I think it's Bon, based on the pronunciation guide in the back. I really like where his storyline is going, and I really like his POVs. More than I like Boudica's. I like Boudica's too, but I think Bonds are just a bit more compelling, for me personally. But I am really liking this. This is definitely, just quality-wise, a really good book, and I'm enjoying it. I like the culture and the lore and the, or not, maybe lore is not the right word because it's history, not fantasy, but you know what I mean. Just the mythology and the religious beliefs and stuff. I really like that. So that was my update. So wrapping up the vlog, I finished Pandora this week. I continued Winter and Dreaming the Eagle, and I started Unseelie. I think that's everything I read this week. So, if you've read any of these books, let me know. And I hope to see you again soon in another video. Bye.